Democrats, your behavior yesterday makes me question just how serious you've been. And in these 8 years Hardlands Media's been around, I've never seen such childish behavior from the Democrats. You don't have a plan. You don't have the tactics. In 2016, you had a golden opportunity with Bernie Sanders. And if Bernie Sanders wasn't a nutless cuck wonder, who knows what you guys could have achieved? The wonders, the achievements, if you actually had the courage and strength for follow through. But now I regret and take back any kind positive word I've said about any Democrat whatsoever. I mean, yes, and occasionally a broken clock will be right twice a day. But in regards to having Trump derangement syndrome, I've never seen anything this pathetic in so long that the Democrats have lost my entire respect as an institution, as a political party, and as an organization.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country. And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
So this triggered a lot of Democrats, and in turn led for one person in particular to steal the night, to steal the show. Representative Al Green screaming out to Donald Trump that he has no mandate. Now, I was rooting for him because here's the thing. I never saw that kind of energy or action from a sitting congressman or congresswoman. It kind of reminded me of the stories I heard in the history classes where before the Civil War took place, members of Congress would beat each other with canes or have weapons. It was old school ECW kind of fighting. It's like the kind of fighting that you see in other parliaments around the world where at least their elected officials fight. Like the South Korean elected officials that actually went up against the South Korean military and climbed, snuck, or fought their way inside their own parliament building to stand against their own prime minister. But this right here was something that we caught live on air. This was pure gold television.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
So this was him screaming out to Trump that he does not have a mandate to remove Medicare and Medicaid. As we all know, there has been a lot of concern about the current GOP budget. It did pass in the House. Representative Thomas Massie was the only one who voted against it, as he gave in concerns of how it's going to add to the deficit. Clearly, the Republicans also control the Senate, and by proxy, of course, they are most likely going to get this bill signed by Donald Trump. Now, Trump has indicated that Medicare and Medicaid recipients are not going to be affected by this, but this is Washington, D.C. After all, expect the worst.
Members are directed.
Now, of course, he did speak out on what happened. So I want to pull this up here as well. Now, the audio is a little bit low here. So when I do clip this video, I will make sure that I will be raising up the volume so everyone can hear it in its full entirety.
And I was making it clear to the president that he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. I have people who are very fearful. These are poor people, and they have only Medicaid in their lives when it comes to their health care. And I want him to know that his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it. We need to raise the cap on Social Security. There's a possibility that it's going to be hurt, and we got to protect Medicare. These are the safety net programs that people in my congressional district depend on. And this president seems to care less about them and more about the number of people that he can remove from the various programs that have been so helpful to so many people.
So, real quick here, he is explaining that Trump does not have the mandate. He's concerned about his constituents. Also, the same representative who we covered earlier who wants to impeach Trump or begin the process of impeaching Trump, which good luck, because that's not how it works. When the Democrats had a more solid majority in the House, they could scream impeachment, impeachment as much as they want, but the Senate is the final jury, and the Senate could just say no to it. So who controlled the Senate during Trump's first term? It was the Republicans. But now, good luck with all this impeachment BS, because Democrats, if you're going to be running on that, you're going to be losing more of your coalition, and your behaviors yesterday was downright clownish.
It is the best way to get it across to a person who uses his incivility, against our civility. He is a person who has consistently been used incivility against civility.
Do you think it will have the mandate? Is that what you said?
Well, look, I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Were you saying you have no mandate? Is that what you just said?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None.
Is the only punishment that you were kicked out, sir? Is there something?
I don't know. Whatever the punishment is, I'm not fighting the punishment. This is about the people who are being punished by virtue of losing their health care. This is the richest country in the world, and we have people who don't have good health care. We've got to do better.
And the Democrats could have done something with a thing called force to vote. Now, of course, Trump wasn't done yet bullying the Democrats, because he went on to ask them, hey, those prosecution charges. And look, hey, there's Warren on her phone. Warren, get off your phone.
And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
That triggered a lot of Democrats, especially then right here. Now, folks, it's 2025. It's the year of the snake. The year of the snake. And Warren, let's just say, got a little perturbed.
With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense, with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
I like how these two are just looking at her like, hey, he's talking about you.
$2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that.
Pocahontas was angry. And of course, you also had Rashida Tlaib. There's a point to all of this. These highlights of the Democrats' failure, because there's one in particular where they're being called out by BSDNC, Morning Blow himself. Stay tuned to the end. I promise it will be a sweet Coca-Cola classic. Start by paying your taxes. Now, here's the thing. Rashida Tlaib, you should not have done this, because the internet can be a beautiful place. It could be a wonderful place. It could be a place of absolute joy and meeting people in which you could share ideas with. But also the internet can be a place where people have a lot of time on their hands. All right. And some people have screenshot this image, erased this word by paying your taxes, left it blank and said, okay, internet, put a caption in here. Some have been funny. Some have been hilarious. Some have been, oh my God, why would you write that? It's like Democrats invite their own failures. And then, of course, Trump, case in point, because the Democrats were all in for the war in Ukraine. He also had some words about Ukraine.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
And that upset everyone there at the Democrat Party, but there was also an aftermath. Now, I could be playing the message of the Democrats' response to Donald Trump, but you suffered enough. So instead, I'm going to give you something that was only 20 seconds long. Representative Jasmine Crockett message to Trump, stop being Putin's hoe. No, she really did say this.
First of all, thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
That's going to get the voters. See, now, that would have worked in 2016. I'm going to be honest with you guys. That would have worked in 2016. That kind of tactic would have gotten a lot of liberals, people suffering from Trump derangement syndrome in the first term. They would have been like, yeah, woo. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing is, that's dumb. That is beyond stupid. It is really stupid, actually, for the Democrats to go along with something that dumb. To say, stop being Putin's hoe. Okay, look, no one wants World War III. And from what I was reading from my live stream coverage, what I'm reading here in the live stream chat, and no one wants this war to continue on. So much of our treasury had been wasted into this war. And Zelensky even realizes that he screwed up. You know, it's one thing to say that Trump could be Putin's hoe. But what does it say about Biden and Kamala constantly giving out money to these frivolous and pointless wars? What does it say about Biden and Kamala in regards to how much money was given to Zelensky and his administration and the numerous reports of corruption and abuse and a lack of accountability? I think the American people want to know. And here's how bad it is, especially when Senator Chucky Boy Schumer, Chucky Boy himself, was asked to respond in regards to the fact that voters realize that the Democrats don't have a plan.
We came in with a clip of Stephen Colbert telling Democrats do something. We've had other people on this show, Democrats being critical, saying that you and Hakeem Jeffries and other Democratic leaders on the Hill aren't doing enough. First of all, respond to those criticisms from other Democrats. And also let us know what is your plan? What can you do being in the minority?
Well, let me tell you our plan, which is a very good plan. The plan is to...
Oh, God. Democrats fume over weak early response to Trump. Democrat strategist calls for new generation of leader as party plots response to Trump's victory. Democrats struggle to pick their message against Trump's shock and awe campaign. Shock and awe. Shocked and chagrined because they have nothing.
Organize. The most important thing you can do is to protest, is organizing. It's not easy.
Glorified parades.
But the American people are rising to the cause. So I had a call set up with our major activists in New York State, lots of them. I thought about 500 people would get on the call, 3,000 did. And here's what we decided to do. On the issues that so affect Americans, the cuts to Medicaid, Social Security, the tariffs, we're going to focus on the 6 Republican Congress members in New York State. As you know, the margin is so small in the House that only 2 would change, two people changing their vote would help us win some of those fights. We're getting other senators to approve
Congressional Democrats' approval rating among Democrats. This is abysmal. Approval rate, 40%. Disapproval rate, 49%. Don't know, 11%. So let's add in the 49 and 11 just for giggles. That's 60% of people who are disapproving or have no confidence or just don't even know what to think about the Democrats, okay? The Democrats are losing their party base. This all started with their dumb behavior after 2016 and in turn 2020, the 4 years under Biden and Kamala. Democrats, you lost your voting base. In the 2024 election cycle, you kept on voter shaming and disrespecting voters and disrespecting third parties and independents, stopping third parties and independents from being on the ballot or being on the debate stage. Democrats, you did every single thing for lawfare against Donald Trump, and none of it stuck. Yes, he might be convicted, but he's still the president of the United States now. We predicted this was going to happen. And then in turn, Biden and Kamala failing at every single point. Bernie and AOC not even stepping up and holding his feet to the fire, not even rallying their forces. What does it say about you, Democrats? You don't have a leg to goddamn stand on. So you could wear your little pink hats, wear your pink little suits, wave your little signs, or scream out and protest and everything else. But the thing is, you want to know why Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security are at risk? Is because none of you bastards took action to do the right thing. And now here you are grandstanding, asking for people to protest, asking people to organize. Do you have any idea how much money, time, effort, and energy it takes to do that? It's not 2016 anymore. It's not the first Trump term anymore. People are broke. People are scared. People are depressed. People are angry. And you know what I'm going to tell you right now? We are due for a huge powder keg to blow up where people are going to go crazy. So if you're driving on the road, folks, try not to honk your horn at somebody. Be careful out there because people are going nuts. People are on edge. And the Democrats want us to do something now when they had 8 years to actually do something, anything.
Go after Republican senators in their own states. The best way to do this is organize because their actual program is so unpopular and so bad for the American people.
I also want to point out this mastermind. Yeah, by the way, mastermind, dude, I'm already tired of hearing about Fetterman running for president. Listen, I'm not going to talk about Fetterman running for president because you know something? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Democrats, if you do this, I invite your failure to happen in real time.
People. I believe organizing has a very good chance of succeeding. That's the answer that I have. That's the answer Hakeem is doing in the House. And it is the best way to protest the horrible things that Trump is doing.
Yes, because Trump bad. Trump very bad. Trump scary. Trump woogie, boogie, 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 boogie. And the only thing the Democrats do have now, after all this, on yesterday's show, we actually played a video of the Democrats responding to Trump. First, it was Schumer, Warren, and Cory Booker. But then it got to the point where this happened. And I'll share this with all of you outstanding people here because this is what took place. Democrats launch anti-Trump social media blitz video. No, I will not play it. You've suffered enough. A group of U.S. Democrat senators has rolled out a coordinated social media campaign, simultaneously posting videos of themselves reading from the same script. The virtual flash mob was intended to mock U.S. President Trump ahead of his first address to the Congress since starting his second term in January. Now, I want to be clear here. It is beyond cringe. They're reading from the same speech. It's just like when you see the media reading about the threat to democracy and the danger to democracy. If this is all what they can do, they can't do anything. What we witness from the Democrat Party is their beginning decline, or ere I say it, the full-on symptom. It's like if the cancer hit their body. They're done for. They're incapable. I welcome your failure, Democrats. And I have to look down at you and say, I warned you. Hardlands Media warned you. Jimmy Dore warned you. INN has warned you. Everybody has told you that if you continue down this path, you will destroy yourselves. I welcome your inevitable decline, Democrats, and I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy it. Because yesterday, last night, going live, I wasn't expecting much from Trump's speech. But you know what I wasn't expecting? You guys and gals to make yourselves look like further clowns. To quote Logan Roy, Democrats, and to vote blue no matter whose fear, I love you, but you are not serious people.